Hey boys and girls, luckySkillFaker here, and welcome back to another video. So today, as you can see, we will be building a PC. So this is my Battlefield 4 upgrade video. I was transferring all my parts from my old case into my new one, which I recently did the unboxing of. And yeah, to just real quick go over all the parts. I got a Gigabyte AM3 Plus GA970 AUD3, as you can read right here. Pretty good motherboard, I had it for a while now. I/O shield, backplate and stuff. My graphics card, which I also just recently updated, is a 7950. I think it's the Sapphire one. Yes, it's the Sapphire one. This right here is my capture card, the AverMedia LifeGamer HD, as you can see right here. Then just my normal 4 gigabytes of RAM, so 8 gigs in total. My 2 hard drive disks, one 500 gig, that one's 1 terabyte. Right here we got my power supply, 600 watts. And these are 2 fans. My Corsair H60 water cooling, and my DVD drive. But here we got some more stuff you will need. For example, screwdriver. Normally you only need one because they're kind of if it comes to PC building, one fits all most of the time. You'll need screws. Those are the ones from my old case. My new one came with a couple of screws. One second. There's quite a lot in here, so yeah. Mostly you will have all the screws you need. In my case it's a little bit different because it's kind of weird to have 2 set of screws, so I hope I don't get confused. My CPU, which is a FX 8120, and yeah, I overclocked it to 4 GHz. I downclocked it again and everything I basically set everything back to normal. I even removed everything, as you can see right here, just so you guys can see how to build a PC from point blank. This is my solid state drive. It got 250 gigs. It's the A40 by Samsung, not the Pro version, the normal version. SATA cables, my drivers from Mainboard, Windows. Yeah, and I think that's about it. So let's get it started. Okay, as a quick side note, or a little disclaimer, you can always have broken parts or something, or just something's not working. First of all, do not freak out. I will put a troubleshoot guide at the end of the video, so you can just go over it and check if just the normal stuff maybe you forgot this CPU and power thingy, which is a quite common mistake. Also, you can have broken parts. Last time I was building my PC, took me about 3 days just because so many parts were broken. The RAM was broken, the power supply was broken, and someone cut the cable of the power switch, so I wasn't able to turn it on. There were like so many, there's lots of stuff that can go wrong, but normally you won't have like that amount of bad luck. I just think I'm cursed or something. But yeah, normally you should just plug everything in. It's not too hard, it's actually quite easy. Again, if parts are broken, you can just go to your, store and let them replace them. It takes them a day or something. And yeah, that's about it. Just want to tell you guys, there are few risks, but normally they won't occur. Just to know that there are some out there. But yeah, I would say let's get started. Okay, so here we got our PC case. And we should start out with our power supply. Also, you don't have to fear or just think about electrical discharges at the beginning. This is only important if you're working on technical stuff, and by technical I mean electronic stuff like the motherboard and the CPU and stuff, and also the RAM. So I'll just have to put up the PC real quick so it's easier to put it in. Hope you guys can see it just fine. It is a little dark, sorry about that. I already turned on all the lights that are lighting in this direction. Hope it just works out fine. Now, the power supply is actually pretty easy. You just have to put these here away a little, so we won't have any trouble putting it in. But you just take the whole brick, kind of, and you put it in, like that. And there actually isn't much more to it. You just then use the screws. So right here at the back, this side, you can screw on 4 screws, and that's really about it. One thing you should make sure of is that you're putting them on diagonally. So we start out with, I don't know, top right, and then you continue with bottom left, and then you go top left, and then you go bottom right. And that's already the first step, power supply. Also, which is a thing that's useful, you can make kind of a list and just check if you're not missing out on anything. So the first step was the power supply. Again, I'm sorry that it's a little dark, all the light I have. The next step would be to put in the optical drive and a hard drive disk. So for that, I will start out with my normal DVD drive. Those are normally pretty easy, yeah. As you can see, just have to kind of test those little snappy things. I can see it on this side. You just have to push it out most of the time. It's better to check first, and in general you should prepare, kind of, if you haven't done this before, but that's really all there is to it. Then after that, I will just move the PC a little to the side so you guys can see it. We'll use our DVD drive, and we'll just slide it in from the front. So this case is super new, and stuff in there is still a little stiff. That's why it wasn't really working too well with the implementation. Solid state drive from Samsung, this way around. It's the 840, as I've said before. I actually never had an SSD, so pretty excited about it. Again, I have a toolless design right here, so we can just use those little mounts from the hard drive cage. And we'll have to use screws, which you can see on the bottom, to make them fit in those 4 holes right here. Also, they're normally, if there's a big mechanical drive in there, really stable, but since it's a small one, a solid state drive, we have to use screws on the side as well to make it sit secure on the case. So let me just screw those on right here, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, there we go. I now mounted the drive in there. Now it's time to put it in. Just slide it back in right here. Then we have to use the screws to secure the drive. Now we'll put our first 500 GB hard drive disk in. Then we just take out one of these right here, and then we just put them in again. See, there are like little things right here which you can just kind of put them on. Also, when it comes to PC building, you never will need to use force. As you can see, we got those little pins right here, which are going there where normally screws are. Now we can just put in our drive right here. And there it is. Perfect. Now the next one, I don't want to sit right underneath that one, so we'll use this right here. Now we'll take our 1 TB other hard disk drive. A little dusty still, sorry about that. And just do it exactly the same. They're like little connecting thingies. We just have to put it in there. There we go. Just exactly the same. Let's put that one in as well. Okay, and we'll now remove all the other parts that we don't need, just because it gives you a little better airflow. Just a little bit, it's not much. You don't have to do it. It's not really needed, but I'll do it. Okay, right there, we got our motherboard, or main board, and now we're going to put in our neat little CPU. As you've seen before, right here's the thermal paste for it. Just put those aside. And as you can see, and as I've already said before, I've already used my CPU, so there's a little bit of thermal paste still on there. I have to remove that, just use some kitchen paste. Another thing, the CPU is meant to be held by the edges, so be really careful with it. There's actually only one way how it will fit in. Now also the part where you have to be careful about electrical discharges. So keep touching your PC case in order to not kill your stuff. You just have to let it sit on there. That's about it. It's you have to be careful, but it's not going to break easily. I mean, as long as you're not being a total jackass, you should have no problems. And then just put this thing under there, and then it snaps into place. And that's all there is to it. Okay guys, I had to switch cameras because there's no more space on the other one. Sorry about that. But yeah, let's put in the motherboard. I'll just put you guys over here again so you guys can see it. And there are like those little placeholder screws I just put in. They're looking a little bit like this. And they're keeping the motherboard off the case. Again, this is the part where you have to be careful about the discharges, so just keep touching anything metal, especially good would be your case right here. Now that we checked that our little placeholders are there inserted properly, we can use our I/O shield right here and put that in this way around in the case as well. Just kind of let it snap in from the back side. That's all there is to it. Pretty easy to do that. Just snaps into place. Gotta be careful about this. I don't want to say that it's going to break, but you have to be careful about it. Okay. See? At the back, everything is seated properly. And there's just, it's normally that there's a little resistance coming from the I/O shield, so you have to kind of push the motherboard in this direction, that way. So now we can use our screws in order to secure our motherboard on the PC case. Again, do not over tighten your screws. Make them fit, but don't over tighten them. So let's start out with this one right here because it is easy to reach. Especially if you're putting in the motherboard. Just kind of put the screws into place. Don't tighten them yet because the motherboard is snapping back because of the resistance that the I/O shield is providing. So, okay, as you're able to see, I wasn't putting in all the screws. I am missing some screws right here and here, but it's not bad. It doesn't matter actually if you have like the majority of the screws. I think I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 9 in total. 2 missing. That's no problem. No big deal. Okay, let's continue. Let's put in our RAM. RAM is pretty much the easiest thing. Looks like that. Don't forget to hold it by the edges. And you have to put it in right here. And again, there's basically only one way of how you can put it in. So put these back to normal. That's how it normally looks like. And then there's like DDR. You can see your RAMs going here, and it's like 1, 3, 2, 4. And you want to put them in 1 and 2. So just use the first one right here. And make sure, look, this would be the wrong way. So I have to make it fit the other way around. Just a little bit challenging. It's a little hair. What the fuck? Okay, and just put it in there. Just sliding it in. Then kind of push simultaneously, then one side and then the other side. And you kind of hear it snapping. I had my fingers there so you weren't able to really hear it. But it also snaps back into place. So now for the second one, same way. Put in one side, then the other one. Now you were able to hear it snap. Okay, let's get our CPU cooler. Okay, now put the backplate on. And our first setup, those two, for the water cooling or your air cooling, whatever you've got. It's actually pretty hard to record all of that because I always get kind of a bad angle and everything so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. This is really bad. I will link you a better tutorial. Do not forget to apply the thermal paste. You just need a little bit of it, just like one tiny little bit. Should be enough. Okay, then you have to distribute it with some sort of thing. I like to use just some sort of cardboard. Normally you have lots of that when you're building a PC. Again, tighten it, do not over tighten. Although if you're using thumb screws, you can go a little bit harder than if you would be using a screwdriver, just because you can apply more force through the screwdriver than you can do with your hand. Okay, so much for that. Let's put the radiator right there for now. And basically what we'll have to do now is do a push-pull configuration. You don't need to do that. You can actually just put the radiator on the backside and put one in front of them, but since I already have two, I will do a push-pull configuration, since I don't know, it just makes more sense to me. The really long ones, and put them through here so I can screw it onto the radiator. Again, I will use two of the short ones to directly tighten the fan to the case, and two of the long ones on this side to tighten it up to the radiator. Okay, so these are the SATA, the SATA ports. Those are the SATA cables. That's how they look like. Some of them are angled, just like these ones. And yeah, all you have to do is to connect them. So I will connect this one to my my solid state drive, and you can see they're also labeled right here. So the top one right here is SATA O, so it always starts with O, so I mean 0, not 1, so it ends at 5. There are 6 ports total, so O, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll use just that one, but since I know that the other one is a little hard to reach, after that I will prepare and put on the one for my first hard drive underneath it. My second hard drive would be there, and then I will also need my, where is it? Right here. This cable right here, in order to connect to my DVD drive right there. So just put them in right there. You hear the clicking sound? And it's pretty much all there's to it. The other one's up here. Click. And the black one at last. And a click. So I'm a big fan of cable management, so okay, again, just use your PCI Express slot port. It's normally the first one up there. Again, everything is also in the motherboard, so it can change depending on your motherboard and stuff, but it's normally always the same. There we go. Put in our thumb screws again. And secure the graphics card. Also back here. Come on. It's not that good to reach, but it's no problem. So nice and fit. There's our graphics card. Okay, now I will cut the video and do some routing of the cables, and I will show you then how to connect them. But once again, there's actually only one. For example, this for the graphics card. I don't know if it's focusing or not. It's only one way how they'll fit in. So you just have to look first before you put in something, and you won't have any trouble. So see you in a second. Now we'll actually have to connect some more power cables. The first one we should start with is the big one. You cannot miss or think that's something else. That's like the really big one. There's only one slot right here in the motherboard it can go on. Also look at the little snap thing, so you know which side you have to put it on. I've bent this a little around. Come on. And then you will probably hear it click again. There we go. Nice and secure. Next thing would be, I don't know if you can see it, but I've put the 8-pin connector right here of the cables down there, up there. It's back there for the CPU fan. It's kind of hard to see. Well, not for the CPU fan, but for the CPU itself. It's behind the cooling right there, so let me just get this straight right there. Okay, back on track. I wasn't able to route it around to show you guys. It just wasn't possible, so I will show it this way. This is the CPU power thing cable, which will go back there. I also tried to get a better angle on this, but it's really hard. So it's right there behind the push-pull configuration. Again, I'm sorry, my lighting really isn't the best, but there's just nothing I can do about it. Now, what we'll do next, the graphics card. So round this around back here. Got 2 cables right there I have to connect. One would be right here. Again, there's only one way how the cables will fit on. Put that in. Take the other one. Look how it's going to be put in. And put that in as well. So you can see they fit perfectly after you've put them in. They might stretch a little during the process, however. Put them back right there. And yeah, I think now we can switch to the back side of the case. This is also where I connected the data cables earlier. Now we just have to use our SATA power cables. They look like this, and put them on there. Okay, like right there. So right now we're going to put on stuff like the power switch, reset button, blah blah blah. But first we start out with the front USB. One sec. I got 4 3.0 front USB, as you can see right there. However, I only have one USB 3.0 port, so that's kind of bad. I just won't be able to use the other one, I guess. So yeah, let's just put that one in, because this one, it's blue, it has the same color, and it will only fit in there. See, there's like this little notch again, right there, when it's going to be put in there. There we go. Nice and secure. Then the next one, again, cannot use, I'll just put it down there. Then right here we got the audio, HD audio, which will be our front audio all the way to the left right there. So all the way on the green port right there. Again, if you're unsecure about that stuff, everything is listed in your motherboard manual, so you can just look it up. And it's normally also written on here, so you should really have no problems. Haha, silly me. Forgot the power switch cables. Okay, let's just put them on there. Also they're labeled as well, so you can just look at them and try to... Yeah, this idea is coming kind of late, although I was using my phone in the beginning to record with, so this wasn't that obvious to me. Okay, hope you guys can see it. We're going to work on this little thing right here, and we're going to put on the switches. If you put them on, if you put them on the wrong way, it actually really doesn't matter. The worst part, it won't turn on. You just have to figure it out otherwise. But it cannot damage anything or at all, so that won't be a problem. So just real quick, okay, that one's power, let's just do that. So that one's for power. Come on. Right underneath it, we got the one for reset switch. Put the cable as well. Okay. then GDLD. It's right next to them. Hope you guys can see okay. It's not the best to do this. Put them there. And then put those right there. Okay, so let's see if it is working. Just put back on the power. And it is booting up. Stop that. Yeah, just it. So, let's see. Everything's working the way it's supposed to. Loading operating system. Disk boot failure. Yes. Seems to work just fine. So, again, I'll be back in a sec. And I will show you the screen real quick. Right there. But again, I'll be back in a sec, and then we can start the boot progress, or the Windows installation, I guess. Now our drive is also working. Man, I feel so damn stupid right now. Anyways, let's put on our CD. Windows 7. There you go, buddy. Hey boys and girls, luckySkillFaker here, and welcome back to the PC building stuff. So it's already the day after we have built a PC. I hope you found this video somewhat useful and somewhat entertaining. I tried to, well, it was kind of basic, and I think if you want a really in-depth tutorial, I will put one in the description down below so you can check that out as well. But yeah, this was my little tutorial, and right here we can see, here's the new PC. It's everything connected, everything works fine. The SSD gave me a little headache though. However, everything works fine now. That's pretty cool. And yeah, I think that's about it. I hope you enjoyed the video. luckySkillFaker out.